Wednesday at the Kollel, we had a talk. It's January 1st, and we had a legal holiday breakfast. Had a talk on the life and lessons legacy of Sir Moses Montefiore. I want to share with you a little bit about what we discussed there. Moses Montefiore is best known for two things: for his advocacy on behalf of the Jewish people, which very famously he did in the case of the Damascus blood libel in 1840. And he was able to get the Jews released, the Jews who were in prison then on blood libel charges, released out of prison. He was able to get an edict from the Sultan in Turkey that such claims were false and had no grounds. Also, very famously, he was unsuccessful in his attempt when he got an audience with the Pope to try to get a child who had been abducted at Guardo Murado out of Catholic control. When they had abducted him, he was a Jewish boy, and he was unsuccessful. The Pope said no. But his efforts traveling around the globe, helping Jews, advocating for them, are well known. Another thing that's very well known is his efforts on behalf of Eretz Yisrael, whether it's the windmill on the Yerushalayim skyline, or the many, many neighborhoods named, whether it's Yamin Moshe, Kiryat Moshe, Zichron Moshe, etc., because of his philanthropy that allowed them to happen both during his lifetime and his endowment after his lifetime. Perhaps less known, though, is his personal journey in Judaism. It's very interesting. He writes after his first trip in 1827 to Eretz Yisrael. He writes of the impact it had, and he says, I'm starting a new life today. And one of the things that he says in his new life, quote unquote, is that he's going to start trying to work harder in his tefillah, in his davening. He says that he's going to try Monday, Thursday, and Shabbos to daven and shul with the minyan. And it's an interesting thing. He took a sort of a baby step. He took that little step forward, and he said, I've been inspired, I've been moved by the Kedushas Haaretz, by the holiness of Eretz Yisrael, and I want to move forward. And tefillah was an area that he picked to develop in. If you fast forward just a few years, in 1831, when he bought his home in Ramsgate, the East Cliff Lodge, he after he bought the property, he not only had the house there, but he built an adjacent chapel, an adjacent shul. He built for himself his own personal shul. And so in 1833, when that was completed, he had his house, and in his vacation home, he also had a private shul. And he writes there about how beautiful it was to be able to daven morning, afternoon, and evening. He says it was like being in Gan Eden. It was like paradise. It was such a wonderful experience being able to daven. And we see this moving forward, this going on, as he developed in his appreciation of tefillah, of making davening a part of his life. Later in life, we actually see he takes it to a new level, that not only is it something he's doing at home, but it's something that he's careful and that he's so inspired by, that he wants to make sure that it's always a part of his life. And so he actually would travel, and he would bring an entourage of a minyan. Apparently he had the means and the ability to bring people with him, and so he would actually travel with an entourage that included at least a minyan of men that would be able to create the prerequisite for the minyan, and thereby he never missed a minyan. An amazing thing to watch the journey of a man so busy, so involved in the needs of Klal Yisrael, and his continued growth and devotion to tefillah. May we all learn from this and continue to grow in our devotion and commitment to tefillah. Have a great Shabbos.